Hello again. Let's take up one more question on magnetic circuits. Okay. So here is another interesting problem that you are seeing on your screen. So let's go through it. So a ring has a diameter of 21 centimeters and a cross section area of 10 centimeters square. The ring is made up of semicircular sections of cast iron and cast steel, each joint having reluctance equivalent. So basically, if you read the question, you find that it's a ring made up of two parts. So this is the one part. This is semicircular ring, and then another ring is like this. So this is the entire ring. So this one is cast steel, and this one is cast iron. So they are joined here. What he's saying is the ring is made up of semicircular sections with each joint having a reluctance equivalent to air gap of 0.2 mm. So there is a joint here, there is another joint here. So this is equivalent to 0.2 mm air gap. So this is a gap here. Similarly, 0.2 mm air gap. Okay. And the dimensions are also given. The diameter is 21 centimeters. So I mark this point and this point, and then this diameter is 21 centimeters. And the cross section area equal to 10 centimeters square. Okay. So this is the data that is given. So 21 centimeters is nothing but 0.21 meters, and this is nothing but 10 power minus 4 meters square. I am just converting the units into meters. Now question is, find the ampere turns required to produce, I have written to produce two times, to produce a flux of 8 into 10 power minus 4 Webers. Okay, so the flux is also given. So the flux is 8 into 10 power minus 4 Webers. Okay, I have written down. The relative permeabilities of cast steel and iron are 800 and 166. So mu R is 800 and mu R is 166. Neglect fringing and leakage effects. So what he is saying is how many ampere turns are required. So assuming that there is some kind of a winding available here, how many ampere turns are required to circulate a flux inside this of 8 into 10 power minus 4 Webers. So that is the question. So again, if I refer back to our overall procedure to solve, so in this question the flux is given and information is given so that I can calculate the reluctance, and I can again calculate the MMF from these two. It's just MMF is nothing but the product of these two. This is given, this we have to calculate, and then I can find the MMF. Alternatively, I can also find out from flux, I can find out the flux density, and from flux density I can find out the intensity, and then multiply the intensity with the length, and I can find out the MMF. So two ways are there. Since in my previous video I solved using this, now in this video I will solve using the other path. So the idea is, given the flux, now I will find the flux density, and knowing the flux density I will find out the magnetic field intensity, and knowing the magnetic field intensity I will find out the MMF. So that is the steps that we will follow in our problem. So for those who are directly seeing this video, this procedure to solve magnetic circuits explained in another video. First you can see that, and then you can come back to solving this. Okay, so let's find out the flux density. Okay, so what is flux density? Now because fringing and leakage, everything is neglected, the flux is uniform, there is no leakage, the flux is inside this both the materials. So the flux density, I can just simply multiply the total flux divided by the cross section area. So flux density B is nothing but total flux divided by area. So 8 into 10 power minus 4 Webers divided by area. So area of cross section is 10 centimeter square, or 10 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. So these two gets cancelled. So this is 0.8 Webers per meter square, or 0.8 Tesla. So this is the flux density. Now once I know the flux density, I can calculate the H. Okay? So H is electric magnetic field intensity. H in cast steel, H in cast iron, and H in air gap 1 and H in air gap 2. Okay, so because the flux density is same for all, but then there are 4 parts. So this is one part, cast steel, then there's a air gap, then cast iron, then there's a air gap. So I am trying to calculate H for that. So what is the relation between B and H? Okay, so B is nothing but mu into H, or B is nothing but mu naught into mu R into H. This linear relationship only holds, this is an assumption, only holds during the time when the core is not saturated. So since that information is not given, we will assume this linear relation. So what is the H for cast steel? So from this I can find H is nothing but B by mu naught mu R. Okay, so I'll do that. So 0.8 Tesla divided by mu naught 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into mu R. So mu R for cast steel is 800, that is given the information. Okay. So let me calculate this. So I'll have to use a calculator. Let me write down for first other things. So flux density is 0.8, mu naught is minus 7, and then for cast iron the relative permeability is 166. So I'll put 166 here. Similarly for the air gap, because both air gaps are same length, I'll just multiply 2 into, so 0.8 is the flux density, 4 pi into 10 power minus 7, and the relative permeability is just 1. So I've just multiplied 2 because I want to anyway add all these things. Or I can say total length will be 0.4 mm, or I can just do that. Okay, so let's do these calculations. Yeah. So for the first one I'm doing 0.8 divided by 4 into pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 into 800, then close brackets, is equal to 795.77. So I'll approximate to 796, not ampere turns, this is ampere turns per meter. Okay? That's the unit for H. What about this one? So I think it's just changing by the factor of 166. So what I'll do is I'll multiply by 800 and divide by 166. So I get 3835 ampere turns per meter. So this is the ampere turns for, this is ampere turns for the iron part. Okay. Now H for the air gap. Actually forget about 0.2. Just H for the air gap 1 we'll calculate. So that is 0.8 divided by 4 divided by pi. I think I made a mistake. I'll just cancel this. 0.8 divided by 4 multiplied by pi multiplied by 10 power minus 7. So I am getting 636,619 or 620 ampere turns per meter. So very high value because air gap does not have very high relative permeability. Now what is the next step? So ampere turns is nothing but H into L. So again, if I go back, here you can see ampere turns is nothing but H into L. Ni is H into L. So So I have H here 796. What is the length of the cast seal? So we know diameter is 21 centimeters. So the radius will be half of that. So I'll say if I want to get the formula, so 2 pi r is the circumference of the entire circle. So 2 pi r by 2 is the circumference of the that is pi into r is the circumference of semicircle, and then since we have diameter, pi d by 2 is what we will be doing. So pi into diameter is 0.21 divided by 2. So this will be my ampere turns required for this one. So the unit here is ampere turns per meter and the unit here is meters. So if I multiply these two, I will get unit of ampere turns. So what is this quantity? So let's calculate that. So 796 into pi into 0.21 divided by 2. So I get 262.57. So I approximate to 263 ampere turns. So this is ampere turns for, what was it? Ampere turns for cast steel, CS. Ampere turns for cast iron. So again I take 3835, the value from here, and then I multiply pi d by 2. So that is 3835 multiplied by pi multiplied by 0.21 divided by 2. So 1265 ampere turns. Now ampere turns for air gap. So simply I know H for one air gap. So the total length I will add it. So because they are anyway in series in the path. So 0.2 plus 0.2 is 0.4 mm. So I just multiply that. Ampere turns for both air gaps, AG. So 63620 into 0.4 millimeters. So but then from mm I want to convert into meters. So 10 power minus 3 is required. Now just to explain why I have taken 0.4 mm is because there are two lengths. One length is 0.2 here, another length is 0.2 here. Together it is 0.4 mm. So let's calculate this. So 10 power minus 3, I'll just put a decimal point here. So I get 636.62 multiplied by 0.4. So that is 255 ampere turns. Again I have approximated. So what is the total ampere turns? Is nothing but 263 plus 1265 plus 255. So let's do that. Ampere turns total is 263 plus 1265 plus 255. So 1783 ampere turns are required. So this is what is asked in the question. Find ampere turns required. So if you look at this problem, this is actually how we solve this problem by using this path. So I know the flux, then I calculated the flux density. I know the flux density and the mu values are given. From that I calculated the field intensity, and then from that I calculated the MMF. So alternatively we can solve the same problem in a different way, that is using this other path, finding the reluctance and then doing it. I think maybe we'll do that so that we match this answer so that it is conceptually magnetic circuits will become intuitive to you. So I just got that idea. So maybe I'll do it in a next video. So in this video the answer is 1783. Next video again I'll solve the same problem in a different method, and let's check if we get the same answer or not.